Hi, and welcome back to another lesson of Art at Home with Dream With Me Art. I'm Tiffany, and I'm so excited to have you do this fun and really easy project to be able to do at home. If you have never painted, this is new to you, you just want to do something that's pretty easy and fun and successful every time, this is the perfect project for you. So what we're going to be doing today are some abstract geometric shapes and doing some different colors, and we'll be learning some color mixing as well as some variants. Variants is when we've got dark and then light colors. So excited to show you this project. Guess official name for it will just be our geometric shapes and colors. This is an 11 by 14 canvas that I demonstrated on, but I will also be doing the live tutorial on our 8 by 10 canvas board. So you can always do either one. If you've got a larger canvas, this is just as successful. If you have a small, tiny one, look, I even tested on a teeny tiny little canvas. Look at how little it is. It still works. Your shapes are just going to be a little smaller. So that's fine. You also are going to need some masking tape. This is blue painter's tape, masking tape, anything that you know you'll be able to put on and then be able to peel back off later. That's what you're going to need. And of course, we're only using our three primary colors, our red, our blue, and our yellow. So our extra colors are going to come from us mixing. And we're going to be using some white, and that's how we're going to get to those lighter shades of colors. So don't put out your paint yet. Don't put out your paint. It's exciting, but don't put out the paint yet, because actually the first thing we need to do is we're going to use our tape. So I'm going to put our example back here behind, and I'm going to put up my little canvas board that I'm going to be using today. So first thing we're going to do is take your tape, and what I want you to do is you're going to go ahead and peel off a part. It's a little bit longer than your canvas. And we're going to take it, and I'm going to just line it up, and we're going to make an edge, a blue edge right there. Okay, I'm just going to tape that off right there. Then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it just because my easel makes it easier for me to get to it. I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to also tape the edge right here. And if you see, we're kind of going to make a border around our canvas. All right, so another piece of tape. If you have trouble tearing your tape, maybe having a pair of scissors would be helpful to cut it. Or if you're doing this as an awesome kid painter and maybe you need your parents to help tear the tape, that works too. So I'm going to go all the way around with our masking tape. So we have our border. Okay, and if you see, I'm also kind of spreading it so that it sticks. So it looks like we have kind of like a blue frame, right? A blue frame around our canvas. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take some more tape, and this time I'm going to be creating our shapes. So there's no wrong way or right way to do this. So I'm going to just, I'll do a one triangle right there. See that? So that made a triangle right there. All right, and I push that down. How about I do another triangle meeting it? That'll be cool. Pushing that down, making sure that it has contact with the canvas. So now I have two triangles, another big large shape. How about I go, well, I kind of like doing that triangle right there too. You could do that. I see that I didn't really go all the way there. If I have to, I can put another small piece of tape just to finish that out. That works. As long as we're just covering and making sure our edge is nice and straight, that's all we need. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll do one, right here. Make sure that my tape doesn't go over into any of my other shapes. So there's another one. I'm going to try and make one more shape at least. Now, again, I've got the smaller 8 by 10 So I really am trying to use the least amount of tape as I can, because then I won't have as many shapes, I'll have more tape. So you want to have space so that you can really have good shapes. So let's see, what if I do right in the middle there? Yeah, and this looks completely different than my other ones that I've done, and that's good, that's fine. So yep, oh, that was it. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect, six is, you don't have to have 6, you can have more than that. I taught the live class today, and one person, oh my goodness, she had so many shapes on there. It was awesome. And so she really got creative with the way that she placed all of her paint. So what we're going to do is now we're going to get our paint out. Again, I made the mistake during the live class as well. I put out way too much paint. I have wasted paint. It is always best, if you can, put out just a little bit, and then you can always add more, okay? You just can't put it back in here, and we want to try to make our paint last. So this time I'm just going to do just a little one this time. I did way too much, way too much. I'm going to do just a little blob of red, a little blob of blue, little blob. Now I will say we are going to use a decent amount of white, but even then let's not try to be too crazy. So I've got my red, blue, and yellow, and my big bottle of white. And then there's my white right there. Okay, also if you remember when we were doing this before, when we talk about pulling, we're going to be pulling from our paint. We're not going to blob and dip in the center, because then that mixes up the color, especially our white, okay? So that'll be a technique, one of the things we do to make sure that our white doesn't get too mixed up with some of these colors, all right? So we're also going to be using a round brush today. So if you had a larger canvas and you had like a bigger one of these, that would be fine. I've got, because the smaller one, I'm going to do a little bit smaller one, but any one that kind of just comes to, you see that? Okay, comes to a point will give us what we need. But really any kind of brush will work, as long as it will get onto the paint, onto the canvas. Okay, so remember what we always do? Our brush needs to always, before it goes into acrylic paint, we dip it in water, get it primed, get it ready. Oh, and because I used this brush earlier, it looks like I've still got a little bit of color left on it. That is something that I noticed, and I'm going to rinse that out really well first. Okay, so I'm going to dip it and then just drag the edge off. So I've got a little bit of water in here, but it's not drippy. It's not, if I do this, it's not going to drip. All right, so we're going to come over here to our shapes now, and our shapes that we've created with our tape. And let's just pick one shape that we're going to go ahead and start out with. I think I want to try and do this first top triangle, and maybe let's start with our blue color. So I'm going to just take my color straight into the blue, my paintbrush, and just pull a little bit of blue, and then I'm going to just start, I'm going to pick this corner right here. You see the corner there? So we're going to use this corner, and this is where our darkest part of our blue is going to be, and then we're going to make it lighter and lighter and lighter as we go farther. So we're going to just pull some of the dark blue right there, okay? Just a little bit. Do you see there's just a little bit of blue there? And now I'm not going to dip any more blue, not really a lot of blue, no more blue. I'm going to come over to my white, and I'm going to use one little side of my white, and I'm pulling white right there. So you can see that there's a little bit of blue that's mixed with the white, but it's not in the center of my plop, is it? It's not right there in the center. It's where I can still, if I want to later on, get to the white by itself. But now that I've pulled some white with the blue, when I pull this now, what's it doing? It's making a light blue, isn't it? So I'm not going to pull any more blue. Instead, I'm just going to keep pulling more white as I go down this shape. So I'm going to pull, 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 like these little brushy strokes. Pull, pull, pull. Grab some more white, pulling from the edge, pulling from the edge. We're not plopping in the center. And we'll pull, pull, pull all the way to the end of our shape. Good. And if you want to, maybe you decide you're like, oh, I'm just going to pull a little more of the blue into it. But there we go. That is our blue shape. I'm going to rinse out my brush. I've got my rag here. You've got a rag or a paper towel to kind of just get that extra moisture off. All right, so let's pull our red. Let's do red now, okay? So again, we're just going to take some of the red onto our brush. And where do we want our red? Where do we want it? How about, let's do this one down here. Again, you're going to have different shapes than I do. That's fine. You're just going to pick the next shape that you think that you want to. And I think I'm going to do red starting from the corner here. I could have done that corner. I could have done that corner. Didn't matter. So I'm going to just pull red, my dark red down there. And now, remember how I kept my plop? I was trying to keep it a little bit cleaner. Instead of dipping right where the blue is, right there, I'm going to move over to where I saved some fresh white. And I'm going to pull some white right there. See, now my white blob is giving me fresh white that I can do with the red. And so then I can start, and we hope you know and remember, red and white is the first mix that you ever learn, to learn that that's going to give us kind of this lighter pink color as we go down our shape. Still pulling from our plop, and then we get there. There we go. Maybe I'm going to do a little bit that way. Okay. Then we have our red. Awesome. Rinse, rinse, rinse. All right. We're going to move to our yellow. So really make sure that you rinsed out that brush very well. The red is a very strong color and it will show up on the brush and still into it. So now let's do our yellow. We're going to dip into our yellow now. Our nice bright, bright, bright yellow. And I'm going to make this one. Make this one mine. And I think I'm going to do my yellow from right here. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. So I've started my yellow right there. And now on my plop, do you see I still have, yep, I still have a corner over here, a side that did not have any color yet. So my white, I can still pull and make an area where I can pull some fresh white. So now I'm going to start pulling that yellow, that lighter yellow to the edge of this shape. Now remember also when we're doing this, if you feel like, man, that's not really covering really well, it's really streaky, it means you probably need more paint. You know what, I might pull a little more yellow into this. Yellow is such a light color. I'd like to be able to see more of it. But yes, if you've got a very large canvas, you're going to need more paint. I think I still put out way too much paint than what I needed for my canvas this time. But I wanted to be able to show you how to do that. Okay, so there is my yellow triangle. Awesome. If you see, we're kind of like, even the way that our dark shapes are going are different directions. And that's pretty cool. Okay. I would like to do a green. I don't have green on my plate, do I? But I believe some of you guys are probably really smart enough to remember that two of these colors mixed together will give us a green. If you're yelling it, good job. So I'm going to take my yellow plus my blue, and actually not too much blue. Yellow is a lot lighter. You only need a little bit of blue. And I'm going to come over here and kind of in the middle of these guys and mix. And what am I seeing? You see? I see that. Now, if it starts to look kind of more like a swampy color, it's a color you don't like, it's probably too much blue, and you might need to add a little more yellow into it. That'll brighten it up. We'll get it more kind of like this lighter one. That's what I realized I kind of grabbed too much. Here, I'll even grab a little more. Oh, it's kind of more that light, springy green. It has more yellow in it than blue. So don't worry. You can kind of mix, but try not to paint your whole plate when you're mixing. We're gonna mix a little bit, and then we need to get the paint on our canvas, not on the plate. Your plate is not what you're gonna hang up. Don't mix it all there. So how about I do this one, and I'm gonna do this corner down here. I'm gonna just pull green there. All right, and then I can come back over to my plop, probably where maybe I was pulling some of the yellow. It won't hurt adding a little more yellow into the green, and I'll do some light green now. Look at that. Ooh, that's adding some really neat streaks going up. So we're always kind of pulling away from where we started our darkest color, and we're just gonna keep adding white to it as we get towards the very edge. The very edge. There we go, all covered. Excellent. Yeah, perfect. Okay, rinse. You made a secondary color of green. All right, let's do orange. Let's do orange. You remember orange? If we've got our red, we know we'll need our red. What will we need to add to that? We're gonna need to add a bunch of yellow. Again, red and the blue are a lot stronger when we're mixing. Yellow is just not quite as strong, especially if you've got these student paints like I also have. Sometimes we have to kind of mix a little different than if we had different ones. So if you see, I'm still grabbing some more yellow. I really want it kind of more of a really bright orange. Can you tell there's that bright orange now? Here we go. That looks good. Yay. So where's our orange gonna go? How about the orange right there? And maybe I'll start at this corner. So we'll go there. Yeah, here we go. And maybe I'll pull from like the red side of my white plop, because I already have red in this mix, right? We're just gonna pull away from our darkest point. And yeah, there we go. Maybe a couple more little streaks. I like sometimes they get streaky. It looks more like a sunburst on that one. Ooh, I like that. Okay, all right, rinse, rinse, rinse. We're gonna do our last secondary color. Now, I will admit, some of you, if purple is your favorite color, you may be a little more disappointed. The way that these two colors mix together, it's not the prettiest purple, but it's still a purple, and I promised that we would only use these three colors that I have to make all of our other colors. So we will make it work. Don't worry. So to do this purple, we're gonna do a little bit of blue. We're gonna grab a little more of the red, okay? And we're gonna mix, mix, mix. And some of you are like, this looks like it's brown. It looks yucky. It does a little bit, add a little more red. We're gonna kind of go in more of a reddish brown, not a reddish brown, a reddish purple. So we kind of need to just add a lot more red to it. It kind of gives us like this mauve color. And then, yeah, so I'm mixing. It's not brown exactly, I promise it's not fully brown. If I add a little more white to it, it kind of becomes like this lighter, lighter-y purple color. And it's still, I promise, it still looks pretty on that. I think that part of it is our blue right here might have a little bit of green in it. So it wants to, there we go. Okay, look, that's better. I need to add more red to it. So this one needs a lot of red and just a little bit of blue, and it'll get us kind of more of a peachy purple. Okay, there you go. We've got that. So I'm going to take my peachy purple, and I'll start from this side. So it's going to go right this way, and then we're going to dip right into our white and really kind of start pulling that. So pull, pull, pull. All right, pull, pull, pull. And we're gonna just go all the way to the edge of our painting. Okay. So, like I said, that purple it's not our favorite one, but we can make it work sometimes. If you want to experiment with some of the different mixes, if you really love turquoise, let me show you a fun mix. Our green that we already had, if you come over here and grab just some more blue and you start to mix the green and then a lot of blue in there, you're gonna start to get this really pretty dark greenish blue color. That's kind of this turquoise. Ooh, look at that. You see that? Let's add some white to it. Do you see? So if you want to do that, kind of that turquoise color, that one's really pretty. So there's some different ways that you can do that. If you have a lot more shapes on yours, then you can experiment and try to mix and see, what happens if I do have, my orange and I decide to add maybe some more yellow into it. How bright can I get my orange? Or what if I decide, that this purple, what if I did do more blue? What would that happen? What would happen with that? I don't know. Maybe it turns to different colors. So we've got so many different ways, but we have finished with all of my shapes. And the fun part about this project is when you get to take off the tape. So I'm going to go ahead, even when it's wet, you can go ahead and do this. Just be careful the wet paint that's on the tape that you're taking off, that you don't let that go back onto your canvas. It'll probably get on your fingers. It'll get on your fingers, but it's okay. It can wash off. So there are my shapes. Look at that. Awesome. So satisfying. Now, if you had maybe one of your pieces of tape did not stick down all the way and it bled up underneath here, don't worry. The fix that you can do is let it dry and then you can go back over top of it with just plain white and you can cover back over and no one will even know, okay? So, and this is our abstract. Look, the great thing about abstracts is that you can just turn it. Let's see. Do we like it like this? Maybe like that. So I really hope that you enjoy this project. I hope that you will just explore mixing the colors as well as figuring out how to do the different shapes. I loved how we used the different tones going from our dark to our light, and that gave our shapes kind of some movement. And I really would love to see you post your pictures. My Instagram is dreamwithme.art, and I would love to see your art if you do this project. And you can tag me, and I would love to share it with other people. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and make sure that you do some art at home. And thank you for joining me. Bye.